We are the dollars and cents.
Yeah, so today's video is going to be another unboxing, first impressions, and update video. This time it comes from not really a house. It just comes from, I guess it's like a celebrity fragrance. It is Russell Wilson, who is a current quarterback of the Denver Broncos, but used to be a quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. And his wife, Ciara, which I believe is an R&B singer. I'm not really too familiar with her music. I just know that she is a singer, and I'm guessing it's going to be R&B music. But yeah, I was shopping the other day just online, and I came across this fragrance. Had no idea that it existed, and I looked on Fragrantica, and it showed a picture of the bottle, and I was like, wow, that's kind of a crazy concept. Apparently, it's two bottles in one, and they're magnetic. So, I mean, kind of a cool concept, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. But yeah, so it's called the Fragrance Duo. I guess there's Ciara's blend and Russell's blend. So here's the box. And sorry for the reflection there, guys. It does come with two 50 ml bottles. I'm going to use a little editing magic and take the plastic off this box. All right, so here's the box for the fragrance. It does open like so, and I will reveal the bottles to you guys because I do believe I'll be able to show them to you here in a minute when they're together. So here is how one of the bottles looks in there, and as you can see on the picture, that's how it's going to look here. But there's a little card here. It's a thick cardboard card, so it's not like a little booklet or anything. It's just a real thick card talking about the fragrance. But here is the box as it is without the fragrances inside. Very sturdy, heavy box. Real nice. Huge box here. Here are the two fragrances. One does say R at the top. The other one does say C for Russell's blend and Ciara. And I'm going to try to go ahead and stick these together. I don't know how. It's like one of those little, there it is. I think that's how it works there. So yes, it looks like that. Kind of a cool concept, I guess. We're just gonna. I'm gonna quickly do a first impressions on Ciara's fragrance, but I'm not gonna like review it and give you guys an update on that one. Really, just more interested in doing the Russell blend. So I'll go ahead and put hers to the side here. It doesn't stand up on its own, so I will say that. I'm a little coffee table here, so they do have to, I guess, be together for them to stand up. So. And I'm sure there's like some sort of love message with that whole thing as well. You guys can make that up if you want. But yeah, so here's the bottle, kind of funky looking. Does have an R on top like I mentioned before. And I'll go ahead and give you guys the information on this bottle. So the Fragrance Duo, Russell's Blend, is a men's woody aromatic fragrance released in 2020. The nose on this fragrance is Catherine Seelig. And it's an eau de parfum concentration. That's what it says on the box. I'm assuming it means for his and hers. So I'll go ahead and give you guys the notes for this fragrance. In the top, we have bergamot, black tea, and then Broxen. In the mid, we have lavender, pear blossom, and water lily. And in the base, we round things off with musk, vetiver, and patchouli. What am I expecting from this fragrance based on these notes? Not really sure. Like in the bergamot, obviously. The black tea might give it some... I've smelled tea in different fragrances, and sometimes it smells straight up like tea, or sometimes it can smell a little watery. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a first impression because I have no idea what to expect, honestly. And it's a designer, or not designer, but a celebrity fragrance. I'm hoping it's good. It'd be really cool if this fragrance is actually something worth talking about. So go ahead and give this fragrance a quick couple of sprays here on my hand. Here is the atomizer, as you guys can see. Let's see here. A couple sprays. Here we go. Okay, atomizer is kind of okay. Kind of a little drizzly here at first, but okay. Immediately reminds me of something right there on the top. Now I'm sure that's going to change, but I'm getting something along the lines of, and I sure hope I'm remembering this correctly, but it reminds me a lot of like Bad Boy. Has a little bit of like a citrusy, sexy, chocolatey thing going to it. Obviously, it's going to change, but I mean, right now I'm not being blown away by this one. It immediately reminded me of two other fragrances. I could be wrong about like the exact smell, but just reminded me of that type. Fresh, sexy. Like it smells like there's cardamom in here, but there's not. So I'm definitely getting the bergamot, and a lot of the other notes, like the lavender in this is going to be key because the lavender is in a lot of these like very these like designer fragrances that come out. Like they always got to put lavender in there. So I'm definitely getting some of that. I'm getting some of the black tea. I mean, it's not a bad fragrance at all. It smells really, really nice. But it's been done before. Again, not exact or anything like that, but it's just been done before. And I think this was like, I put the price here, but I want to say it was like $120, and you get both, 50 mil for both. And right now, definitely, I'm not really getting a lot of these notes. I mean, I'm definitely not getting. I'm getting the bergamot, maybe the ambroxan because has a little bit of that new age feel, some of the lavender, but everything else in this reminds me of like Bad Boy. So with that, I will say this is a very pleasant smelling fragrance, very designery, very crowd pleasing. Not obviously, guys. First half of the video can't tell you guys that much about until the update, about the performance and everything, but it smells like it might have some staying power. But yeah, again, right now I'm not being blown away just because, again, smells great. It actually smells really, really good. Just been done before. And honestly, with this this kind of little gimmick they got going, I'm not really expecting too much from this, but it's, kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and take a couple sprays of the Ciara fragrance just while I'm here and get it out of the way. I don't know if it's going to smell the same or not. Didn't even look at the notes, but I'm just curious how that one's going to smell as well. Okay. Now, smells nice. Now, I'm really leaning towards the Bad Boy comparison because it slightly reminds me of Good Girl. And I love that fragrance. Now, I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's just on my brain. So that's what I'm going with it. But I'm getting a slight Good Girl vibe with this one too. Slightly chocolatey. You can tell it's very feminine. But yeah, not a bad fragrance. Both these, I think I know where they're going. I think that his is Bad Boy, hers might be Good Girl, but we'll see. Won't update you on that one, but I'll update you on his for sure. Yeah, the ambroxan is definitely kicking in more now, and it's starting to remind me of something else. It's completely changed from the opening, by the way. Going in a different direction, but I'll have to, without wasting too much more time here, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the rest of my thoughts in the update. But I'm going to wear this fragrance tonight over the next couple of days. Give you guys an update shortly. Talk to you then. Hey, what's up, guys? Just want to bring you guys a quick update on the Fragrance Duo Russell's blend. Before I get to that, I do want to say that I did try the Ciara version. And I will say this did remind me a lot of Good Girl from Carolina Herrera. And that will lead me into Russell's blend. Now, this reminded me also of Bad Boy, which is the men's version of Good Girl. Not exact, but pretty close. And I think I mentioned it reminded me of a couple of other fragrances in the first half of the video. I think it was the Mont Blanc Legend Night or whatever. And then there was one more. This has a very familiar smell to it. I'm going to say it reminds me of Bad Boy just because that's the only one I can really think of right now. But this does. If you smell this, you're going to go, oh, this reminds me of this. This reminds me of this. Maybe even Mont Blanc Emblem. I think I mentioned that one too. This is a good smelling fragrance, but it's been done before. I'll get to the ratings here in a second, but I will say it's been done before. Smells really, really nice. They somehow mimicked the Bad Boy or all the ones that I mentioned smell, but using black tea. The lavender is definitely there, but water lily and pear blossom and patchouli and all these other things, like they somehow mimicked that smell, but using these notes. This did have not a lot of ambroxan, not like Sauvage, but you can get the ambroxan and the dry down pretty good. But it's not like super strong or anything. So if you guys are familiar with the fragrances that I mentioned, then you guys will know what this one smells like. If you don't, it's just got like that new age smell. It has like that little bit of ambroxan, a little bit of loudness to it, some citrusy notes, a little bit of a chocolatiness to it with some lavender in there and some musk, a little bit of black tea. But again, all those notes are really just combined to kind of smell like something else. But that's sort of hopefully I've explained that to you guys well enough without, confusing you, or you guys are just sort of going like, I don't know what you're talking about. Longevity for this fragrance, I was not a fan of it. It was 4 to 5 hours. This is an eau de parfum concentration, guys, okay? And I will, again, I think I already put the price up. If I haven't, I'll put it up again. But this is not a very cheap fragrance. And I haven't been able to find this one discounted online. But 4 to 5 hours for an eau de parfum is not, that's way below average in my opinion anyway. For what you're paying, this fragrance has to last a lot longer. Projection below average again for the for an EDP. This did not, like, maybe the first hour. I mean, again, standard basic fragrance rules, right? The first couple of hours are gonna be your best. I wore this stuff in the dead of heat, and I could not smell it coming off me. Like after the first 2 hours, maybe hour and a half, got really close to the skin after that. The only thing I could probably say is that I was working in a hot warehouse, over 100 degrees. Maybe I sweat and it just sweat off my skin. That's the only thing I can think of, but I could not smell this one coming off me after a couple of hours. Again, going back a little bit to the longevity, had to bury, it was a skin scent by the 5th hour. Again, for what you're paying, for it being an EDP, I was not a fan. Now, I will say the women's version, that lasted a lot longer. So you guys can do with that what you will. But again, I'll get to that a little bit more here in a little bit. Seasons, it's going to be for fall. It's fresh, but it's also fresh, spicy. It's a little heavier in a sense, but it's very spicy. It's got the patchouli in there. I said it sort of has a chocolatiness to it. Don't know where that really comes from. Yeah, the bergamont's nice and fresh with the black tea as well, but the spiciness really does, to my nose anyway, it reminds me more of a fall type of fragrance. Even though it might not have the performance for the fall, that's just where my brain takes me, so you guys can do with that what you will. Obviously, like I always say, you guys can wear these wherever you want, whenever you want, but these are just my suggestions. Occasions, date night. This is a sexy fragrance, okay? I'm kind of not giving it the best ratings right now, but this smells good, okay? It does smell nice. It's going to be it's very mainstream smelling, very designery, very mass appealing. It's going to get great compliments from a date. I think you'll get compliments with this one from a date, but it has to be close quarters because it's very close to the skin. Safe for work, not strong enough for the club, but I do think evening events would be best for this fragrance. It is very sexy fragrance, very gentlemanly. I can definitely see you guys wearing this one with a suit and tie, something like that. Unfortunately, it's not going to be strong enough for the club. Maybe spray your shirt with this one if you'd like to wear it to the club. Ages. With the price, I'm going to say 25 and up. I think 20 and up can pull this one off. I just think with the price. And I haven't been able to find this in discount. I already mentioned that. If you guys can find this one cheaper somewhere else, I'll give you guys a price here in the overall section of what I think you should pay for this. Remember, it does come with 2 bottles, 250 mils for his and hers. But I think 25 and up would be easily afford this fragrance now. Now, if you can find it for cheaper, 20 and up would be fine. But I just think right now with the price, it's not really worth it. Overall, I do think this fragrance smells good. I think it's mass appealing. Yeah, those are, I guess, the pros. The cons are going to be the performance is terrible. I didn't like it. I didn't like the performance, especially for an EDP. If it was an EDT, I would completely understand. EDP, I'm a little confused by the performance. The price. Do not pay retail for this fragrance. Now, if you are a normie and you're a beginner in fragrances and you want to get a his and hers type of gift, I think that would be maybe worth the price, okay? You guys don't own very many fragrances. You guys are a new couple. I think this would be a cool little wedding gift. I mean, it goes together. I don't know if you guys can like get messages engraved in this without breaking it, because I can't tell if it's glass or if it's metal. It looks metal. Maybe on the caps or something. But I think that this would be a good wedding gift, and you guys get maybe your names put on there, something like that. That might be worth the money, because you're getting 2 bottles. It might sit on a shelf. It might have a date for your wedding or just the date that you met. Something like that might be worth it. But that's, maybe the price, having 2 bottles and maybe having this kind of a gimmicky little thing here where it looks like 2 people hugging, maybe that might be worth it. But in my opinion, I think you guys should wait, especially if you're only getting it for the men's. Wait for this one to go discounted. I don't think this one's going to, if it ever makes, because I was reading the comments on Fragrantica, some people are saying that it hasn't made it to the States yet, so I'm confused on that one. If it ever makes it to the States and gets, I think it'll be highly discounted, honestly. I do think it'll be highly discounted, and if you can get this one for around, both bottles, for around $40, I think it's worth that. But, yeah, overall, it's a little boring, if you will. Again, I gave it some bright spots here and there, but the fragrance has been done before. It's very familiar. It's just a basic designer. Now, I will say it's a good fragrance for him. He's an NFL player, right? He's a celebrity. Good job to Russell Wilson and his wife Ciara for coming up with a fragrance because it smells good. They accomplished that. But, guys, this is a fragrance channel. I smell so many fragrances. I got to keep it real with you guys. This has just been done before. Not super exciting. Again, it's a cool little fragrance for what they are doing. I'm not trying to bash them by any means. Not trying to trust me. If I had the means, I would make my own fragrance too, and it probably would smell something like this. I would want to make a mass appealing fragrance. This one would probably I would just make it way stronger. That's all. I like the fragrance. Make it last 8 hours. Make it jump off my skin, and we'll be talking. Especially with a 50 ml bottle, this stuff, you're gonna go through a bottle so fast because unfortunately, I wasn't able to get very good performance out of this one, guys. But has anyone ever tried Russell's blend from the fragrance duo here, Russell Wilson and Ciara? If you guys have, let me know your thoughts on this fragrance or these fragrances down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this fragrance. Again, there is a couple of good things I do like about it. So I do think it's a decent little fragrance, but again, overall, just not for me, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching my video on my channel. If you like this video, please click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications for future first impressions videos and first edit content just like this, guys. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. There you find first edit photos and future contest winners, guys. And as always, until next video, you guys take care. Thanks.